Hello, dear seniors. Today, let's have a little chat, just you and me. We're going to talk about a king. Not the kind with a crown and a velvet robe, but one that swims. Yes, we're talking about king mackerel, a fish so bold it's got king in its name. But sadly, it's the kind of royalty that you'd be wise to keep far away from your plate. Now, don't be fooled by its noble name or its lovely flavor. King mackerel is one of those fish that carries a silent troublemaker, Mercury. And not the kind of Mercury that sings like Freddie. No, this one quietly creeps into your nervous system, messes with your memory, and weighs heavy on your heart and kidneys. Imagine inviting a charming guest to tea, only to discover they've stolen your favorite teacups. That's king mackerel for you. For seniors like us, our bodies don't quite bounce back the way they used to. Mercury, that might go unnoticed. In youth now lingers, accumulates, and starts to whisper things like dizziness, fatigue, and worst of all, confusion. That, where did I put my glasses? Moment? Could be age. Could be Mercury. Best not to risk it. Back in the day, we might have eaten this fish fried, grilled, or tucked lovingly into a spicy curry. But the oceans have changed. So have fish. And most certainly, so have we. Now is the time to be not just wise, but fish-wise. So. Next time someone at the fishmonger says, "Lovely mackerel, Madam Royal quality," just give them a smile and say, "Not today, Your Majesty." There's a beautiful old saying, old age is a crown of honor if it is found in the way of wisdom. And sometimes, wisdom means saying goodbye to royalty that doesn't serve your health. My lovely elders, get comfortable. We've got another underwater tale to unfold. This time, it's not a king we're talking about. It's a little known but truly dangerous character called Tilefish. Sounds harmless, doesn't it? Almost. Like something you'd find in a fancy kitchen backsplash. But don't be fooled, this fish is trouble with fins. Tilefish comes from the deep sea. And let me tell you, it's got secrets darker than the waters it swims in. This fish, despite its innocent-sounding name, is one of the highest in mercury content of all the fish in the ocean. Yes, even higher than some sharks. It quietly absorbs mercury over its long life, then ends up on dinner plates where it most certainly does not belong, especially for us. Now, you might say, but I've never even heard of tilefish. And that, dear friends, is good news. Because this fish might sneak into menus under vague names like whitefish or catch of the day. It's like that stranger who shows up at a family reunion and no one remembers inviting suspicious. From the start, the mercury levels in tilefish are no joke. For seniors whose bodies have been through decades of birthdays, holidays, and adventures, this kind of hidden toxin can wear down the nervous system and the heart faster than you can. Say, what's for supper? It's the sort of danger you don't feel right away, but it's there, quietly clouding the mind, tiring the body, and putting pressure where we least need it. And yet, it doesn't get the headlines. It doesn't come with a dramatic name, like piranha or killer fish. No, tilefish keeps a low profile, blending in, staying quiet just like mercury does in the bloodstream. That's why it's so dangerous. So, next time you're looking at a menu or buying fish, remember, if you don't recognize the name, ask. Ask where it came from, what kind of fish it really is. And if they say tilefish, just smile sweetly and say, "No thank you, I've got enough excitement in my life already." As the old proverb goes, wisdom doesn't always shout, it often whispers. And sometimes it whispers, don't eat the tilefish. My dearest seniors, let's talk about someone sharp. And I don't mean that charming gentleman who still wears cologne to the community center. No, I mean the fish with the built-in weapon swordfish. Sounds heroic, doesn't it? Like something from A Knight's Tale. But alas, this isn't King Arthur's dinner. It's your dinner. And swordfish has no place on your plate. Swordfish is sleek, powerful, and fast. It's the James Bond of the ocean, cool, confident, and secretly toxic. Yes, just like the last 3 spy movies, this fish is full of surprises, and not the good kind. Beneath its firm texture and fancy fillet reputation lies a nasty secret: incredibly high levels of mercury. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I used to love swordfish steaks on the grill. And I get it. It's meaty, satisfying, and used to feel like a treat. But times have changed, dear ones. As we grow older, our bodies start collecting more than stories. We collect sensitivity, wear and tear, and yes, toxins like mercury, especially. When we unknowingly invite it in for dinner, here's what mercury does. It gets comfy in your body. It doesn't ask permission, doesn't pay rent, and doesn't leave. Over time, it can lead to memory loss, difficulty concentrating, heart rhythm problems, and even impact balance and coordination. And the worst part? You don't even notice it until you do. Swordfish, being a long-living predator, soaks up mercury like a sponge at sea. It's at the top of the food chain, and unfortunately, that means its meat becomes a collection of everything bad it's eaten over time. So, when you're enjoying that fancy fish steak, what you're really chewing on is a toxic history lesson. From the ocean dot, so what do? We let swordfish go. We wave at it from the safety of the dock and say, "Thank you for your service, but I've already got enough battles of my own." There are plenty of gentler, safer fish in the sea trout, sardines, and salmon, the good kind, that would love to grace your table without bringing mercury to the party dot, as the saying goes. The sharpest blade is not the one in your hand, but the one you learn to avoid. So let's leave swordfish to its dramatic deep-sea duels and choose peace for our minds, our hearts, and our tummies. My dearest friends, today, let me take you down to the deep, deep sea, where a fish swims slowly, calmly, and with the wisdom of centuries literally. This isn't just any fish. This is Orange Ruffy, the elder statesman of the ocean. But before you feel a kindred spirit, let me warn you, this old-timer comes with baggage. The kind that settles in your body and overstays its welcome. Orange Ruffy lives up to 150 years. Yes, that's not a typo. It's practically a walking well swimming history book. But you know what happens when you live that long in today's polluted oceans? You absorb more mercury than a thermometer factory on fire. By the time this fish reaches your plate, it's practically glowing with heavy metals, and not the rock concert kind. Now, I know it sounds exotic. The name has a flair, doesn't it? Like something you find on a 5-star cruise menu or whispered lovingly by a waiter in a linen apron. Would you care for the Orange Ruffy, madam? But let me gently suggest that your reply should be, no thank you. I prefer not to age backwards through memory loss. That's right, because the mercury in Orange Ruffy can do more than just tire you out. It can make you feel foggy, forgetful, and even mess with your blood pressure and heart rhythm. And since seniors like us already have enough trouble remembering where we put the keys or why we even came into the kitchen, why add another culprit to the confusion? And don't be surprised if this fish shows up under a fake name. Sometimes it's listed as deep sea perch or slimehead. Although frankly, if someone offered me something called slimehead, I'd pass just on principle. Still, that's how slippery Orange Ruffy can be. You see, as we get older, our choices matter more than ever. The things we eat aren't just fuel anymore, they're messages to our bodies. They either say, "Thank you for carrying me all these years," or "Sorry about that, I wasn't thinking." Orange Ruffy, despite its noble age, falls into the latter camp. There's an old Irish saying I love: do not regret growing older. It is a privilege denied to many. So let's honor that privilege by eating wisely. And sometimes That means saying farewell to fish that have lived too long and carried too much. Ah, the shark, nature's drama queen. Hollywood made it terrifying, tabloids made it mysterious, and some chefs made it dinner. But today, my dear seniors, I'm here to tell you, shark doesn't belong on your plate at any age. And especially not ours. Now I know, some of us have a curious streak. Just a bite. You might say, I've never tried it. But let's be honest, there are many things we haven't tried that we probably shouldn't, like skydiving without a parachute, or doing the tango after a knee replacement, or eating a shark steak. You see, sharks live a long, long time. They don't just swim through the sea, they swim through generations. And the longer a fish lives, the more mercury it soaks up from the ocean. Sharks are the ultimate collectors. If they had wallets, they'd be full of loyalty cards from every toxic diner in the sea. That mercury builds up year after year, bite after bite. And by the time that shark meat lands on your plate, it's practically a hazardous material. 1. Serving might look like a protein-rich power meal, but it's really an invitation for memory problems, balance issues, and a fogginess that feels like trying to read the newspaper without your glasses on a rainy day. Now, I get it. Shark sounds strong, bold, adventurous. But here's the funny thing, we don't need to prove anything anymore. We've been brave. We've lived through heartbreak, healing, and holidays with burnt stuffing. We face storms and come out wiser. We don't need to eat the top predator to feel powerful. And let's not forget the poor sharks themselves. These creatures are slow to reproduce and often hunted cruelly. When we choose not to eat them, we're not just protecting our health, we're showing a bit of mercy to the sea. Not bad for a Tuesday lunch decision, right? There's a wise saying that goes, not everything that is strong is good for you. And in the case of sharks, strength comes with a heavy price tag. So let's raise a toast not with fish soup, but perhaps with a nice herbal tea to wisdom, to compassion, and to the delightful peace of not having a predator in our stomach. My wonderful companions, we've talked about fish that lurk in the deep, swim with swords, and hide behind exotic names. Now, let's meet someone you've probably seen at the fancy sushi bar, or nestled in a sleek tin on a supermarket shelf. Big-eyed tuna. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Strong name, bold flavor. But beneath its shimmering skin, Big Eye hides a sneaky surprise, a toxic tale that older bodies like ours are best off avoiding. Now, don't confuse this fellow with your everyday canned tuna. Big Eye is the bodybuilder of the tuna world larger. Firmer and often served raw in high-end sashimi. But what else is Big Eye full of, besides protein and posh price tags? You guessed it, mercury. And not just a pinch. Big-eyed tuna holds mercury like a grandmother holds onto recipes faithfully. And for life. You see, mercury has a wicked way of accumulating in large fish, especially those that live long and love to eat smaller creatures full of their own contaminants. It's a bit like gossip passed along the food chain until it becomes a dangerous headline. And when mercury enters your body, it doesn't tiptoe politely. It barges in, sits down in your nervous system, and starts messing about with your memory, your mood, and even your motor skills. For older adults whose bodies are already juggling blood pressure, cholesterol, and where dash the dash heck dash or dash my dash reading dash masses dash mercury is a guess we can't afford to entertain. But tuna is healthy, you might say, and you're not wrong some. Types of tuna are excellent, like skipjack or light tuna, which are smaller and lower in mercury. But Big Eye? It's the show-off cousin who brings drama to the family BBQ. If you must have tuna, go for the humble types, not the ones that swim like celebrities. There's a quote from the Greek philosopher Epictetus I always remember. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And in this case, How we choose what ends up on our plate is a kind of reaction, a daily little rebellion against what might harm us. So here's the strength. Not the kind that comes from flexing your fork into a big-eye steak, but the kind that comes from making wise, gentle choices. Because wisdom isn't just about knowing what to avoid, it's about choosing what brings you peace, clarity, and good digestion. Ah, Bluefin Tuna, the celebrity of the sea. The red carpet royalty of sushi bars. The fish that once fetched over $3 million at auction. Yes, that one. But before we get too dazzled by its fame, let's sit down, cup of tea in hand. Have a quiet, sensible chat. Because while bluefin may be dressed in prestige, it's not exactly dressed for our health. Now, we older folks, we've got experience, wisdom, and taste. We've danced through the decades, and we know a thing or two about value. And if there's one thing that experience teaches, it's that not everything expensive is good for you. In fact, some things are just expensive mistakes, like leather, trousers in summer, or bluefin tuna in your golden years. Let's talk Mercury again. Bluefin tuna is a big fish, a long-living predator. And like its cousins swordfish and big eye, it collects mercury like stamps. Except these stamps go straight to your bloodstream and start playing havoc with your brain, your nerves, and even your heart. For seniors already managing medications, memory, and moods, this is like tossing fuel into a fire you were trying to put out. And if that's not enough, there's the environmental cost. Bluefin is one of the most overfished species on the planet. Choosing not to eat, it isn't just good for you, it's a noble little gift to the ocean. Imagine that. Doing something kind for your heart and the planet in one quiet decision. There's an old saying, what you eat becomes part of who you are. And after 60 or 70 or 80 years of becoming someone wise, kind, and loving, you deserve food that supports that, not sabotages it. So the next time someone slides a plate of bluefin sashimi your way with a wink and a grin, you can smile, thank them warmly, and say, no thank you. My heart's had enough excitement for today. And there we have it. Dear friend, 7 fish to kindly say no thank you to as we continue our journey through life with grace, laughter, and a bit more wisdom than yesterday. These aren't just dietary tips. They're choices rooted in self-respect, because we deserve foods that protect our minds, our hearts, and our joy. So, let's steer clear of those heavy hitters. Tilefish, swordfish, king mackerel, orange roughy, shark, big-eyed tuna, and now the showy but risky bluefin tuna. Remember, good health isn't about sacrifice, it's about choosing wisely. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and share it with someone you love. Your support means the world. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights, heartwarming advice, and a few laughs along the way. Thank you for being here, and until next time, stay well, stay kind, and keep choosing what truly serves you.